Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with UFC President Dana White. We're here at the historic Wang Theater in Boston. I got to say, when I went to open workouts yesterday, walked down onto the floor of the garden, I got a little, my heart raced, you know what I mean? I'm looking at all the Celts banners, the Bruins banners. I know you've had some hiccups and, you know, a little heartache coming into this, but the fan in you, the Boston fan in you, I know has got to be psyched about this fight.
No, yeah, I love it. I love coming here, and I'm with you. I love playing at the Garden, man. It's so cool. I love being here at the Wang Center for the press conference. It's all cool stuff for me. You know, and you know what? There hasn't been any heartache or hiccups. You know, we got these union gnats flying around our head all the time, no matter where we go. You know, here, because this politician here is in the union pockets, you know, they were able to, you know, do some things, and they never win. Like I said, they're gnats. They get in your eyes and your ears and aggravate you, but they don't do any damage like a horsefly or a mosquito. They're just a pain in the ass.
So you never really thought that Chael wouldn't get licensed? Did you ever start to put a backup plan together?
No way. If they wouldn't have licensed Chael, or if they you know, the whole Social Security thing didn't work out, or if they end up voting on this 18 and under thing, you know, this crooked politician is going to have more problems than, you know, than it's just so transparent.
There was an opportunity for Chael and Shogun to fight at UFC 161, I believe it was, when Little Nog dropped out and Shogun needed an opponent. Chael was going to jump in. When that fight didn't come together at that date, how quickly did you guys think about it being the main event for the kickoff of FS1?
Yeah, as we started to build this card, obviously I wanted to build a card that would make people go, God, I got to find Fox Sports 1. I got to watch this card. And the card is just stacked from top to bottom. Chael, you know, the thing that I love about Chael, there's many things I love about Chael, but one of the things as far as our business goes, this guy will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And he calls people out. He doesn't call out, you know, guys that he thinks he can beat. He calls out the toughest guys in the business. And people talk about his 2 losses. He lost to not only 2 world champions, but 2 of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, one of the greatest of all time, and one on his way to being the greatest of all time. So Chael Sonnen is very much, you know, one of the best fighters in the sport.
And I've heard some people talking today about asking Shogun to retire, or that you might ask Shogun to retire. I find that a little bit crazy. The man is only 30 or 31 years old, and I know he's had a lot of fight years in him, but the guy is still a warrior. It's
not crazy. It's insane. It's like, you know, when they talk about Chuck Liddell, like Chuck was, I've known Chuck since, he's been a good friend of mine since the mid to late 90s. You could hit him in the face with a baseball bat and wouldn't budge him, and then he got to the point where he was getting hit and getting knocked out. It's time to. There was nothing else to prove for Chuck. He had already been a world champion. He made tons and tons of money. It was, you know, he had achieved everything he ever wanted. Why keep going on? I understand he's got that fighter inside of him, but I won't stand around and let that happen. Shogun's nowhere near that. Shogun's still one of the best fighters in the world. And a win on Saturday will put him closer to the title shot.
And people forget, too. I think that he had his appendix out a couple weeks before he fought Lyoto. I know he had some issues before he fought Hendo. He doesn't say anything, and he just shows up.
Right. Knee surgeries, yeah. You know, bouncing back from these knee surgeries. I mean, when George St. Pierre had his knee surgery, everybody was talking about, will this be the, you know, end of his career and all this stuff. This guy's had like 2 or 3 knee surgeries. His appendix were removed, and the list goes on and on. Shogun is a badass warrior, man, and he's nowhere near being done.
Now, John Howard is coming back to the organization. He had some wins outside of it. Was the fact that the fight was in Boston and he's a local guy, did that help his cause in getting signed again?
It definitely did. But he's a guy that I really like and respect, and he's always fun to watch.
Yeah. Now, we heard recently that Bellator shut their women's division down, and they're not going to be doing that anymore. Obviously, we have the Ultimate Fighter coming out. That's what I want to ask.
They might be shutting more than that down.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I mean, because you said something in the scrum that you didn't think they were really in it for the love of the fight and for the build the game, that they were just there to make money. Does this make you think that you were even more right about that, and that you should reinforce your women's division to have more 135ers?
I was absolutely right about it. I mean, why would they shut down a division? Why would you know, these guys, we go forward, they go backwards, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation except for the fact that they like to pretend or act like they're some type of, you know, like they're going to overtake the UFC. And I love how this guy that runs it always has, you know, advice and opinions on what dude, your company is, my video blogs do more viewers than your television show does. Are you seriously giving out advice and acting like you know what the hell you're talking about? You have no fucking clue what you're doing. You're failing miserably with a company that has nothing but cash. It's not about cash, and it's not about distribution and all this stuff. It's about actually loving the sport, trying to take the sport to the next level, and coming up with new and creative ways to do it and ideas, whether it's TV shows or whatever it is. They don't have an original, creative bone in their bodies over there. They're trying to make money, which is understandable. It's a business and they want to make money. But when you're only in it for the money, yeah, it usually doesn't work.
You've had to reinvent The Ultimate Fighter a few times in the history of the show. You've got men and women competing on it. You've got ladies coaching it. I know you haven't seen the first episode yet, but I mean, everybody's first instinct was, there was going to be too much fooling around going on in the house, and there would be this and there would be that, and it would be distracting, and it would be a soap opera instead of a fight show. What were the reports, though, you heard out of it, though, besides the emotional elements of Ronda and Misha? What about the fighters in the house? Was it crazy, or was it focused?
Yeah, there's always, and we didn't have to reinvent the show. I think that the show has evolved. The show continues to evolve, and it is literally the greatest thing for up-and-coming talent, and showcasing them, and letting the world know who these people are. And this season, I haven't seen as much as, I'll give you an example. Eric Shanks, the president of Fox Sports, he called me 2 days ago and he said, "This is the best season of The Ultimate Fighter I've ever seen so far." He's 4 episodes in. It's very good. The one thing that you have to understand is no matter what goes on in the house, around the house, that's all, it is what it is. What makes the show great are the fights. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to have great fighters, great personalities. You want to see some great coaching. You want to get some insight into who these people are and what makes them tick, and are you interested in them? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? I'll give you an example. This is the first time I landed here on Tuesday night at like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm a sicko apparently. I turn on the TV and I start watching the Cleveland Browns Hard Knocks on HBO. Yeah. And it was awesome. I got totally sucked into who these guys were as players and everything else, and basically that's what this show does for you too.
Speaking of football, I saw Chandler Jones the other day, Rob Ninkovich, and they were saying they needed some tickets to the game. Chandler, it actually was really inspiring listening to him talk about his brother John Jones and what pride he feels when he watches him. I know you hooked him up though, right?
Yeah. Chandler's got some tickets, and we're going to take care of some other guys there too. I'm going to go to the game on Friday, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice, very nice, and I'm going too. I'm excited for that. I do want to ask you a quick question. Looking forward a little bit, at the end of the month, we've got a show in Indianapolis, a show in Milwaukee. Josh Barnett is coming back to the UFC. He's taking on Frank Mir, and we're looking at Alistair Overeem up here, Travis Brown. How much of an influence do you think Josh could be in the mix of the heavyweights? Because when he's on, he's on.
It's true. No, he's been one of the toughest guys in the heavyweight division since the day we bought this company. And now that it seems like he and I are both on the same page and we're getting along, he brings some excitement to the heavyweight division, as does Travis Brown and Alistair. The heavyweight division's fun, man. It's fun to watch, and I'm really looking forward to that fight on Saturday. This is one of those fights where Alistair came in with all these huge expectations from the fans. Things haven't panned out for him over the last year or so, but this is a chance where he goes in and handles Travis Brown on Saturday night. I think things will change, and obviously for Travis Brown, if he can come in and finish Alistair Overeem, he'll get the respect he feels he finally deserves.
Right. And lastly, Benson Henderson is fighting Anthony Pettis coming up. But you haven't been overly critical of Benson, but you've said there are fights that you kind of wish he had won in a more decisive manner or something like that. So do you expect that we might actually see a change of hands of the title on that Saturday night?
I don't know. We'll see. Their first fight was a great fight. I mean, their first fight, when you think about it, came down to the last round. Who was going to take that last round, and Pettis is amazing. The things that this kid's able to do physically, it's like shit out of the Matrix. So, and Ben Henderson obviously now has solidified and cemented himself as the, as the king of the 55-pound division. So that's what makes this fight so fun.
Nice. All right. I'm going to give you a chance to go get some chata or something. I haven't been to Mike's Pastry yet, but I need to get over there.
I was there. Let me tell you what. I've hit every.
You did. I'm so jealous.
I was at Mike's Pastry. I was at Bova. You ever been to Bova?
No, I haven't been there.
Oh, go to Bova. It's right down the street. The problem with Mike's Pastries is when you walk up to the place, there's a line 6 miles down the street. You can't get in. You keep walking straight past it. You take a left. Yeah. Down there is Bova's, and it's just as good.
Money.
I've been to every spot that you can eat in town. I'm literally not going to eat till Sunday. I ate so much food already.
All right. Well, good to see you're enjoying yourself.
Thank you.